Hello, welcome to Exotic Gardening with me, Yorkshire Kris, and today I'm in Loughborough with Kevin Spence, and we're going to have a tour around this exotic garden full of unusual plants you don't see growing elsewhere really, especially not in this part of the country. So Kevin, how long have you been gardening here?
We moved here in 1980. In about 2001, we decided to try some tropical stuff. About 12, 13 years now. So.
Okay, so we're going to have a tour around the garden. We're going to look at some of Kevin's highlights, and I'll be pointing out plants that I'm interested in as well, and hopefully be inspired to seek out some of these interesting plants to grow in your garden. The first thing we have in front of us is this enormous Musabaju, which goes right up, right to the top of the house almost. And here's Kevin, and we're going to sort of have a look around the garden, have a loop around the garden, look at all the exciting, unusual plants. And just thought I'd mention this Musabaju because it is, you know, we see in a lot of exotic gardens, but this is a pretty impressive clump we have here. How long's this been here, Kevin?
Yes, it's probably 2002.
Okay, so
2010 it was taken down to the ground, and it's come
back, yeah. That's grown really well there. Obviously it's close to the house, it's got the protection, the warmth.
There was 5 more stems here last year.
Yeah.
All flowered, so compost heap was filled up.
Yeah, look at the size of those leaves. That's very impressive. So let's have a wander around the garden. So there's so much to see.
Pseudopanax.
I've got the Pseudopanax, which I do grow in my garden, but these are bigger than the specimens I've got in my garden. You've got the adult leaves forming at the top and some flowers over there as well. And the trunk of it.
Gnarly trunk.
Yeah.
Very tactile.
Very tactile. And that's growing in this bed, which is, you mentioned earlier, was like got rubble and all sorts under.
Bricks and everything, yeah, and then gravel on top. Everything was planted with pea shingle, just to get the good drainage.
Yeah, it's all working well there.
This solanum, which is right to the top of the roof now, grows in with a chaclospermum.
Oh yeah, that's flowering up there.
That comes through winter okay in the gravel bed, but in the soil against the shed, it's died.
No.
So,
and then
here's a Yucca rostrata with the flat leaves.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a lesson today in distinguishing between Yucca rostrata and lineafolia. When we've got the shape of the leaves.
Yeah, this is your lineafolia.
That's got the
curved back
to the leaves.
This one flowered this year, which I always tend to cut the spike off and see the new head coming through.
Yeah, he always slows them down a bit, doesn't
he?
he?
Yeah, keep the nice spherical heads. That's the one I go for.
And this is a plant you don't see every day.
This is Xanthorrhoea glauca with its pups.
Yeah.
I counted 6 pups growing on it now.
Absolutely huge as well. So this has been here since before the very bad winters?
Yes, spring 2010 this was planted.
Right.
Not ideal time to plant it, but
no,
we don't know what's coming, do we?
No. So for those that haven't been growing exotic plants for years and years, we had one of the worst winters in 2010, it was December 2010.
Yeah, we had -12 here and it didn't get above freezing for 2 weeks.
Right.
One day the top temperature was -7.6 in the day.
In the day, sort of high temperature. So yeah, so if you haven't been growing sort of exotic plants for many years, you might not have experienced those sort of temperatures, and you might not have even really cared about temperatures in winter anyway. But as soon as you start growing exotic plants, you do start watching the weather forecasts and seeing what happens. So
we've all got weather stations, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got the weather stations now to monitor the weather and see how low it gets in winter and how high it gets in summer as well. So obviously your gardens, you've been here since about 40 years in this garden?
We moved here in 1980
1980.
But it was about 2001 after his first foreign holiday.
Yeah.
We thought, okay, well, let's change the garden.
So you're going from
This was all laurel trees here.
right. So you're going from traditional garden to the
And conifers.
exotic garden with this sort of arid, well, mixture of arid plants here and well, all sorts. There's so much to see in every direction. But yeah, so this grass tree, you said you got through 2010. I'm assuming you put some heat around that to keep it going.
Yeah, so we'd use Christmas cable lights around it. So, and it was lagged with roof insulation,
Right.
which I don't need to bother with now. Just put a roof over the top just to keep the head dry.
Yeah, that is fantastic, and it's put on a lot of growth since you've had it.
Yeah, and it grows through winter as well. So
That's fantastic.
it's quite a northerly specimen.
Yeah. Well, we're right in the middle of the country, aren't we? So we're as far as you can get from the sea as possible.
Yeah, I think we're 89 miles to Skeggy.
It's your closest seaside.
Yeah.
And then we've got some wonderful things here. So we've got the Sable
Sable
at the
minor.
back there. And has that been through the worst of winters, or is that a more recent?
That's been there since early 2000, 2004 I think.
Yeah, it's a very slow growing palm tree, but it's
yeah.
got quite big distinctive leaves.
Yeah, I think there's a couple in there which it flowered for the first time this year, but the flower spikes, nothing
Yeah.
spectacular really.
And
I'm
then
not going to try and grow from seed.
No, it's a slow growing one. I think I did grow it from seed, and I think I had it 10 years, and it was no bigger than, a few inches tall.
It's like
It's so slow.
like Triphinax campestris as well.
Yeah,
I've grown them from seed. There's like 15 years old and about that big.
yeah,
Buy as big as you can afford.
yeah.
That's a recent one this year, the Cycas revoluta.
Yeah, it's quite
Put
a
a-
tall
put a-
specimen.
Put a roof over that, I think, this winter.
So you have like you've done with the grass tree here, so sort of polycarbonate
nothing-
roof.
Nothing spectacular, just a bit of polycarbonate over the top. Keep the radiation frost off,
Yeah. So we're south facing here, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're looking,
southwest over there, yeah.
southwest over there. So you get all sunshine even in winter on this bed here. And then we've got this Trachycarpus princeps with its
Blue leaf.
bluish silverish leaf on the back there. That's a nice specimen.
Indumentum in this middle.
Yeah. That's a nice hardy palm tree as well. And then we've got the yucca,
Lineariafolia.
Neofolia. And then if I just step back and look up, we've got a couple of very tall palm trees.
That one's Wagnerius.
I've got the waggy on the right and the
female
Fortunei.
Fortunei.
And do these,
They drop on the floor and grow like cress.
yeah, you can see all the seeds up there now, the berries ready to drop. I've got a nice Jabea here. Obviously this isn't the biggest Jabea you've got in the garden,
Well, certainly not.
so we'll see that in a second.
Yeah.
But that's a nice size.
Trachycarpus geminisectus there, quite an unusual one.
Yeah, very slow growing, but it's
Quite stiff leaf.
yeah. You found this to be hardy? Have you had it many years or?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Bought stuff Jonathan Haycock when he emigrated.
Yeah, so you've had that. So it's gone through -6, -7,
Yeah, we had -8 last year.
-8 last year.
Yeah, and barely above freezing for about 10 days, I think. Probably the same as you.
Yeah, so that's done well. Yeah, I found the same. It seems, even though it comes from, much warmer climate, it can survive quite cold temperatures. Got another yucca, linifolia, some gingers.
Which is popping at the sides.
Let's have a look at those. Yeah, it's popping.
The carob tree,
Oh yes, that's not something you see every day. The nice
grown-
glossy leaves.
grown from seed.
So that's grown from seed.
Yeah. Tends to lose the leaves a bit when you get to -8.
Yeah.
Always comes back.
So that's where you'll get your carob nuts from eventually.
Yeah, it's
a bit like
long.
chocolate, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just pick them off the floor when you're in the Canaries or something like that.
And this one here then, so this... Oh, yes. We point out this one down here, which is...
Not looking too good, is it?
No, I think it's past its best, that. It's
Brahar Marta.
Brahar Marta. So that was a big, chunky specimen there.
Yeah, the trunk was up to about there.
And that died last winter.
Yeah.
And then if we just pan across to the right behind the yucca,
See another one.
we've got another briar, which is doing well and alive. So literally, 2 or 3 meters apart.
One dies, one don't.
One died and one doesn't. So it's no rhyme or reason sometimes. Same bed.
These are good hedychiums. Tara.
Tara, yeah, a good reliable one. Nice flowers.
Massive flower spikes on those.
And then this looks like a yucca, but it isn't.
It's Nolina. Longifolia.
Yeah, nice big, long, strappy leaves on that one.
It's got
Nice green colour.
It's got quite a good trunk on that now, I should imagine.
Oh yeah,
Trunk on that.
quite a gnarly trunk.
See what's going on in there, can't you?
Yeah. And we'll...
So yeah, these are Jersey lilies.
Oh
It's
yeah,
coming
a
up.
bit of colour, because we're filming this right at the end of October. So you've still got lots of interest, because you've got so many, really nice evergreen plants. Here we've got a Chimerops or Shamrops. And so this was one of the ones that got hit hard.
Yeah, they took all the trunks down to the ground, but the trunks come back up from the floor, so...
Yeah, so we always talk about, well, I think most of us call it a hardy palm tree, the European fan palm, but it can defoliate in really bad winters. But it's come back though, hasn't it?
Quite variable as well, because this one's probably 10 years older than that one.
And look at the size difference. That one's old, that small one down there. Wow.
Maybe 15
Huge difference
years
in
old.
size, yeah.
This is nice with its sweet leaves on it. Aurelia variegata.
Yeah, mine's just, dropping all its leaves now. It's just right at the end of the season, all just dropped down. But yeah, that's a big specimen with lots of branches on there.
If you want a really hardy one, Trichodendron araloides.
That's really nice. Nice evergreen shrub tree. And has it been flowering or is it about to flower?
Yes, it's flowered, the seed heads on it. So.
Very good. Down here we've got...
Liphophia northii.
Yeah, nice fleshy leaves. And has a big spike of flowers in summer.
Yeah, it forms a trunk.
Yeah, that's a nice one. And then if we just pan round, we've got the...
Flora rodendifolia.
Yeah. Again.
Defoliated this winter.
That defoliated and it's come back. So just to give you an idea of scale, it's not always easy to see on the video, that's about, what would you say, 3 metres
3
tall?
meters, yeah.
So it's a good size.
Another Pseudopanax up there, seeding for the first time.
Yeah, that's a good size as well. You can see the seeds, flowers. I'll just zoom in on that actually. There we go. More Chimerops here.
And get the Wallamai.
Oh yes, let's look up. Nice silhouette there. That looks really nice actually, the backlit by the sun behind it.
It has male and female parts, and I've had tubs and tubs full of seeds. Not one germinated.
Not one germinated, wow. So it's
I
just...
have to retire on the funds.
You could. And yeah, as pan round, we've got more palms in this part of the garden. So we've got, this is Cerifera here.
Yeah.
That's a nice specimen. So you've got the bluer leaves compared to this one here. And they do form nice trunks, don't they? So that one's got a decent sized trunk.
This is Uclarensis, this one.
Yeah, so this is...
You can tell with the indementum in the leaf bases.
This is one of the rarer Trachycarpus species. Glad you said look at all this here.
Not flowered yet.
No. I mean, it's getting to a good size. It must be not far off wanting to flower.
It's not far off 2 metres. Is it?
No, definitely. It's a good size. Unfortunately, I lost mine when I moved it, unfortunately. And then if we go around here,
This one's a naggy.
it's a naggy, so a nanas and a waggy cross.
Massive
And it's got a
leaves.
trunk on it as well.
It's come from the Wagnerianus, isn't it? So-
Yeah. And then we talked about having a bigger jabea somewhere. And this is the big jabea, which I'll just show you the size of that. I mean, it is hard to tell just from the screen, but it is absolutely enormous, this one. Huge arching leaves. And the trunk itself, it's a proper trunk there. And so the trunk starts down here and you've got this nanas
Feeding manus.
by the side, which got seeds on. But the size of this trunk, it's a good, well, it's more than 1 metre across that, isn't it, that trunk?
Yeah, we have to measure the circumference. see
Yeah,
how
it's
big it
absolutely
is,
huge. And it, it fills, covers a large part of this part of the garden, the actual spread of the leaves. And this is the one that came across in an oil drum.
Yeah. Oil drum, yeah, 2004. So it's a fair few years old.
Yeah, but obviously when you had the worst winter
It's probably
in 2010,
probably 15 years old when
when you got it,
we got it.
yeah. So in 2010 it got through the winter. Obviously it's here today, but it's
Yeah, the spear pulled on it. I pulled a 5-foot spear out of it, and then gradually all the leaves turned white and it all defoliated. So all these leaves are new since 2010.
wow. So how quick was the recovery from 2010 to looking like a
Yeah, it was a few years.
few
but,
years? Yeah.
Yeah, but by the end of the 2011, this has got a good couple of leaves out the top,
Yeah.
and it
Yes. One of the biggest specimens I think I've seen in a garden anyway.
nice fatsias down here. If you want.
Yeah, let's have a look at the fatsias.
This is my
Go through here.
favourite one. This is Annalise.
It's flowering as well. Yeah, that's a nice one. Really nice variegation. I mean, you love it or hate it. I think some people don't like variegation,
Yeah.
but I like this one because it's a nice sort of yellowish and green
I
variegation.
tried crossing this one with the Edward Needham form just here,
Okay, yeah.
which is quite big now. But the plants have come up plain green.
Oh, right. So you managed to get viable seed,
Yeah.
but it's
yeah.
just green. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, it'd be amazing to get a variegated
Yeah.
polycarpa.
Yeah, that was my fate. That was my hope. They're quite spectacular flowers. They're not really ready to come out, but they have real kind of brown
Yeah.
indimentum on the flower spike. But yeah, that's quite a big one. Slowest palm ever, just there, Djibouti.
Ah, yes. So how is you said it's very slow growing. You had that a number of years?
Yeah, yes, maybe getting on for 10 years.
10 years, and it's only what? Yeah.
It was slightly damaged last year, but
It's a very elegant leaves though on it.
Mm.
It does look nice.
and that one's the Trithonax ancanthoma. That's spear pulled, but that's coming back as well. So
Yeah. And we're in a bit more of a bit shady here, isn't it? But I guess the plants have got shelter from each other.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, a funny story, that ancanthoma come back in a suitcase from the Canaries. I've seen them being sold for like £10 each
Yeah.
in the Canaries. I thought I could just about get that back in the suitcase. So yeah, it come back in the suitcase. I thought I was going to have to leave some of Jackie's clothes. We got it back.
And then above us, we've got a very large Titropanax, which is, I mean, that's,
Mm.
look at the trunk on that. So is that Rex, do we think?
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
yeah.
It is, because the tallness, the height of it. Yeah, it's a huge one, that. Nice canopy.
And it don't seem to run all that much, to be honest.
No!
I think as long as you don't cut them down too much.
Yeah, if you don't disturb the soil around as well.
That'll encourage them otherwise. We do get them now and again, but they pull up dead easy. So
Yeah. And this is another trunk here, isn't it? I've just noticed it comes up this way as well.
There's one there.
Let's see that. Oh, I've got brilliant sunshine as well.
Subtropical East Midlands.
Yeah. Where shall we go next?
I quite like the liriops as well. That's a
Oh
nice
yeah. Got these
nice one.
purple flowers, which is nice.
It's beauty spear pulled this year, but it's a seed grown one from Italy.
Oh, fantastic.
But the dubia kind of protected it somewhat, I think. So that's quite a decent spear coming out of that now. So
Yeah. That's nice.
we go round, I suppose.
Go around this way.
I like a bit of lawn, a little bit of green.
Yeah, we've got a nice bit of lawn. A nice seat to sit in and relax over there.
Sunshine as well.
So we've got a slight slope up this gravel path.
This is the fuchsia arborescens. Seems to do that each year, but never gets
Never
a
gets any
flower.
bigger,
No.
right?
This one's Schefflera alpinia.
They've got a bit of autumn colour behind with
Calicarpa.
the calicarpa, the purple berries.
Another yucca rostrata.
That's a huge rostrata. That's about 3 meters tall, maybe. A nice healthy head on that.
Variegated trachlospermum growing up it.
Yeah. It's a nice combination. Got the olive tree up here. Got more yuccas.
Pound from home base, the olive tree.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, exotic plants don't need to be expensive.
No, they don't. Really. This one's Yucca alifolia tricolor with the yellow stripe in the middle. Quite an unusual one.
Yeah,
Has to be covered though in winter.
Yeah, it's a nice one, that one.
These are pseudopanax.
Yes, you've got quite a few pseudopanax. We've seen the ones just by the house, but then we've got a few
Oh,
more in
yeah,
a row over here.
I was told less than I which these are. I'm not all that hardy, but we've been there for 3 or 4 years now.
So they've got some hardiness
This
then.
one's trifoliator as well. Everything's in 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the more I see of these plants, the more I really
Yeah, quite
like these. And then we've got,
this is the large hedge that helps.
yeah, this is like the shelter for this
Yeah.
part of the garden. So you've got all this ivy, which is flowering at the moment, or has flowered. Got lots of bees and butterflies up there.
So I just have like 60 yards of hedge to cut every year.
Is it just ivy or is there a hedge underneath it?
Yeah, there's hawthorn on the other side, so yeah. I've got some big cutters, about 3 metre high cutters, so you can just walk down here.
And cut the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's have a look down this path. Got more
Molinas.
Nolinas here. So we've got one down here that we'll just walk past.
La Saberica.
That's nice. And these are protected in winter, or are they just...
Not really, no. This one I found, we just need to do that. That's it. Just protects the centre bits from turning yellow. That's Durangensis, that is. This is the Euphorbia.
That's a nice one. A tree one.
Species Santa Maria.
Santa
Only
Maria.
found on one island. Off
Wow.
the coast of the Azores.
I think
Apparently
that's-
there's only 12 of these trees left there.
Wow.
Goats have been eating all the small plants. So.
I think goats have got a lot to answer for. They seem to go for these rare plants. The same with the Trachycarpus nanus, isn't it? I think they're
yeah.
eaten by goats as well.
You can see the back of the jubea there.
Yeah, let's get another view of the jubea. You can see the trunk on that. And I'll just pan up and you can see the full height of it. Absolutely enormous. So if those that have been to my garden and seen my jubea, this is a lot bigger than that one. It is very sheltered around here.
There's another Schefflera there. Could be Taiwaniana, not sure.
And that's,
Trunk. You can see the trunk down the
yeah,
bottom.
got a proper trunk down there.
And then Megafaxia. That's new this year
Okay.
with the massive leaves.
Yes, that's... And obviously it's a new planting, but that will get to a decent size, I guess, and grow as big as a fatsia, or bigger than a japonica.
Yeah, this is a japonica really. So.
I suppose there's always a chance, an outside chance, these can, cross-pollinate and end up with something unusual.
Get something interesting.
Yeah,
They probably all turn out like that.
Yeah.
Fancy a japonica.
Let's go around here. Walking past more Kemoprops in front of us.
Bit of a pergola there.
And then we've got the pergola down there.
It all lights up in night time.
It's very nice.
Blew down in '87. Yes.
And been rebuilt.
There's not a hurricane coming.
Good afternoon to you. Earlier on today, apparently a woman rang the BBC and said she heard that there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't. But
Yes, there is.
Well, speaking of storms and things, we've got a storm coming later this week, haven't we?
Yeah, it's probably eventually come today, isn't it, really? It's the fern area. These are Woodwardia radicans.
Yeah, really nice ferns these. And you've got this really nice water feature coming right through this part of the garden, little waterfall going into a little rill and going off down there. And as I mentioned to you earlier, as soon as you get to this part of the garden, it's just slightly cooler, isn't it? You just feel the temperature drop just slightly because it's more shady. That's perfect for all these ferns here.
This is the hardier. This is Woodwardia unigmata. That stayed evergreen in 2010 at -12.
That's crazy, isn't it?
But the radicans nearly died this year at -8. So.
Yeah. So a lot of these plants, obviously you carry on buying plants and trying different plants, but you've got a lot of, the backbone plants you've had here for over, 10, 15, 20 years plus.
Yeah, these are easy to propagate as well because at the end of each leaf you do get a little fern forming. It's just slightly. The older ones might be. There you go.
There we go, look, yeah. It's a little baby plant just there.
Just cut that off, put it in some compost, you've got another one to try.
New plant, yeah.
So even if you lose that, as long as you've done that, you're okay, you're good to go. These are some dead trunks from previous years.
Oh yeah, but we've got lots of life on this trunk.
Yeah, it's a Drynera sinica starting to form roots going around the fern.
Yeah.
Because these are quite spongy, so you can set them in there. Just get a carving knife and put a piece out and good to go.
We've got more down here as well.
Yeah, these are my new favourite ones, Pyrosia lingua. See how wet? This is an old Cyathea australis trunk. This is Polydactyla.
Ah, yeah. Beautiful. You've got you've got a large range of ferns all across this part of the garden.
There are a couple of Elysiums. They're having quite nice flowers. Not flowered yet, but picked them up over the last couple of years.
And I'll just go past this tree fern, Dixonia antarctica.
This one come through 2010, this one did.
And when it came through 2010, like you've got it now, did you have the old fronds sort of hanging down like this? That's protecting the trunk. And it looks actually really nice.
Yeah, I think I did lose a couple which I cut off and regrew, but they were never really up to much, to be honest.
Yeah. But some nice specimens here. If I just show you the full frame. So you've got 3 or 4 big Dixonia antarcticas here, above all the other ferns in this part of the garden.
This one's quite an unusual one. This one's Blackman palmiform.
That is an unusual one.
Just seen a lot at Logan Botanic Gardens, but It's the only place I've ever seen them. So this one's a four-headed Dicksonia, but it's never really.
Let's have a look at that.
Done
Oh,
much.
okay.
I think I lost a few heads over the years. Might be down to, yeah, two heads.
Two heads on it now.
Two heads on it now. I think it's probably a bit close to the plum tree at the side of it, so the roots are competing with each other. So
Yeah, but in your plum tree you've got a
fascicularia.
fascicularia which is growing in a basket, and you can see, oh, it's getting ready to flower or flowering up
Yeah,
there.
it's probably flowered already. Yeah.
Yeah, so that red coloration of the leaves around the flower.
Yeah, it's quite a big one though.
That is.
We've got they grow in the ground as well, so
You've got them on the
but
bank over here.
they are epiphytic, so they should be growing in trees and stuff.
Yeah.
so.
That's really good.
Another one here, and they flower in unusual ways as well. You'd think you need to be in the sun, but
That one's flowering upside down
that's
pretty much.
flying upside down. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really nice.
This is an apple tree. This has apples that
That big.
size.
Wow.
That's for a pound of apples, you get one. Mahonia, soft caress.
Yeah, that one plant of the year, didn't it? About Chelsea about 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
It was,
it's a good one, yeah.
yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I've got some other Mahonias here, but they look quite rubbish compared.
Yeah. And there's no spikes on this or anything like that. It's
No,
quite,
it's-
you know,
Yeah, that's what the name says, yeah.
yeah.
Quite an unusual Tritanax. Oh, Scheißophila.
Yeah, they're not always easy to say.
Barbifla belter. Yeah. It's quite a sheltered part of the garden here because in 2010 this Camerops stayed evergreen.
Whereas the others
So,
didn't.
Yeah, whereas the others died down to the ground, so that's the reason for planting that. It's quite a spiky job.
Fantastic.
Blechnum Magelliancum forms a trunk eventually. That's about 20 years old.
Wow. That's 20 years old and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
no size at all yet, really.
No.
But obviously hardy, so, which is great. Here we've
Yeah.
got,
Got a Schefflera Taiwaniana. They're all seeding now.
and you were saying earlier that was a cutting from
Yes,
the original plant.
Rooted cutting from a friend of mine. Put it in a vase of water.
And it just rooted away.
Yeah. Just
Nice
change,
and easy.
Yeah, just change the water every week or so. And yeah, after a month, roots started forming. And now I've got 4 extra plants.
And they've grown really well. So what's this fern we've got here?
Yeah, that's Unigmata, so that
Unigmata.
would start off quite red when it first come out. So that one does the same as the others, forming little bulbils on the end of the ferns. This one's Blechnum fluvital. This one's quite nice.
Yeah,
This will have like a couple of inch trunks on somewhere.
digging under.
Yeah, slightly chunks
yeah.
there. But that one's a bit tender, so we'll put a plastic cloche over that over winter.
So there's a huge variety in ferns, isn't there? You've shown, you know, we've so this part of the garden there's been so many different types of fern, from the large tree ferns, all these ground ferns, and the actual form of the leaves are all very varied.
Yeah, this one's Blechnum chilense on Tresco. They just grow like twitch everywhere. So, but in our garden they tend to lose the leaves over winter. So,
Oh, okay, yeah, mine are sort of, some lose the leaves, some keep the leaves, so
yeah, it's a bit
it's on the edge.
slightly open here. So
Yeah. And then in the back, oh sorry.
yeah. No, I was going to say this one's Blechnum Nouveau Zealandii. That's quite
That's a nice
a name.
glossy leaf as well.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Another one here, Dudia media. Some weird names. That's called the raspberry fern. That's completely red when it comes out.
Wow, okay. And have you done anything special to the soil in this part of the garden, or?
It gets bark mulched every couple of years, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And obviously the plants
Yeah.
that like it.
And the ferns I set will be set in ericaceous compost.
Yeah.
But once that's used up, it'll go into the soil anyway. But I think the bark mulch helps, like, you know.
Yeah, it'll keep the pH down a bit.
It's quite an unusual one. This Cyathea, New Caledonia.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's come up. That's come 1 year. And there's another one that's come through 2 years over there.
Down there. We'll go past the flower bed here.
This is my Dixonia walkway.
Ah, yes. We've got several Dixonia Antarctica tree ferns, varying different heights.
That one's fibrosa, that one is there.
Dixonia fibrosa down there. And does that get covered in winter, or?
I did cover it last winter with a big cloche just to be on the safe side, because it's not quite as hardy as the Antarctica. As the Cyathea over there with the nice red croziers.
Wonderful. You don't see Cyathias outdoors very often in the middle of England.
No.
And then obviously with these, having all the old leaves on the tree ferns really help with the protecting the trunks.
Yeah, and then the top I'll just put straw and bits of old shower curtain to keep the straw dry. And I'll probably, halfway through the season, I'll change the straw because it might be a little bit on the soggy side.
Yes.
So soggy, cold on the croziers for next year is not good.
No. And then you got a bendy trunked one here, so it started out
this is probably
planted there
the best
and then
one,
got out.
Thought it was going to come this way, but decided going straight up.
So that's grown. So that's obviously you planted it at an angle, and then it's grown up.
It has got slight curve on it anyway.
Yeah.
But
and then it's gone.
That's the original shape. I'm glad it did do that now, because you won't be able to walk through.
No, that's got a good canopy of leaves over that.
This one's Cyathea delbata.
It's
See the blue stripes on it.
Yeah, it's getting picked up by the sunlight now. It looks absolutely stunning. Really nice fern, that one. Very distinctive.
Yeah, I had one of these out for 5 years, but that's when they were £30 a trunk, £30 a foot. They're not £30 a foot.
No, a little bit more now.
So it goes in the greenhouse. This is a large Colruytia.
Oh, okay.
It has spectacular flowers in the autumn time.
Got some nice autumn colour on it.
Got some colour on it. Magnolia grandiflora up there.
Yeah, above the tree ferns.
You probably get that from further away.
Yeah.
It's just got nice brown leaves.
There we go. Yeah, they have.
It has monster flowers as well.
Oh yeah, you can see it all in shot now. Beautiful, beautiful tree. Nice glossy leaves.
You normally see them growing up stone walls of old mansions and things, don't you?
Yeah.
I thought I'll try it on its own.
And it's doing well.
Just to be different.
So has that been in, I guess, quite a number of years now?
Yeah, that one's come from Macamba many years ago.
Brilliant. Let's have a look. Let's go back towards this way. Got the greenhouses here.
That's where the magic happens.
And so your greenhouses where you propagate plants and overwinter some plants.
Yeah, we bubble wrap these for winter, and then they heated with tubular heaters on frost stats. So the tubular heaters are like 100 watts, so
yeah, so it's kept frost free.
It's not like using a 2 kilowatt heater to heat it, so just up to about 3 degrees, something like that.
That's enough to keep everything ticking over nicely.
Yeah. Got some dragon trees down there, which have have been there for like ever. So it's good enough to keep them alive.
And then we'll spin round and we'll see,
Trachycarpus martianus.
which is a huge specimen here. So this, you know, it's at least 4 meters tall, I would say. And it looks stunning with the blue sky and a few clouds behind it. And this is one of the, well, it's the largest specimen I've ever seen in a garden. Obviously, it's not a truly hardy palm tree at all.
No, we cover it most years, but it's a bit out of hand now to cover, so I think I'm going to just wrap the growth point with carpet or something like that, just to hopefully keep the growth bud alive. The one at the Palm Centre, which is kind of half that size, died this year.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so, and that's in London.
And it's definitely a more tropical looking Trachycarpus. It's, you know, it's very distinctive.
The Latisectus.
And then we've got the Latisectus, which again is a big specimen. So these plants here, obviously we talked about the really bad winter in 2010. These are not from before that, are they? This is
the Latisectus was before.
So the Latisectus got through 2010, so that's had a couple of weeks below zero.
Yeah, -12 that's had.
-12 it's seen and it's come back.
So I think that one's definitely hardier than Martianus.
Yes, and the trunk on the Latisectus, that's about a good 2 meters tall,
Yeah,
I'd say.
I'll stand at the side of it. And I'm 6'2", so
Yeah. So so you can really see for scale of how big that palm tree is. And then obviously the Martianus is pretty much double that size. Huge specimen up there. So like you said, pretty hard to protect that now because of its height.
here's a Commodora microspadax. You wouldn't think these would be hardy with trunks like that, would you?
No, very thin trunks, but they get through the winters.
Yeah. Even when you lose the growth point on these, they'll sometimes come off the side. There's some more over there as well. These flower every year.
And do you ever get berries off these seeds?
No, most of these seem to be males, but I've got a female radicalis down here.
Ah, so we have got ripening fruit on those. Fantastic. So it's not a palm everybody grows, but it's very distinctive, very different style of palm. It's like an undergrowth palm, really, isn't it?
Understory, yeah. This one's Brahar calcera.
Ah, yeah, so it's not got any thorns or...
No armaments on it, it's smooth.
Nice smooth on the petioles there.
I do cover this one because I've not seen any others, so
No, I don't think it's
I don't want to lose it.
very, very hardy.
It was in a sale of Brahar armata. It just didn't look right for that, so
That's a very nice
I
palm.
paid me £30 and took it home.
Took it home. That's really nice. And then we've got this big prickly trunk here, which truly is ouch to touch. And this is a big thick trunk at the base there.
It's Aurelia bipinata.
And if we just look up, we can see the leaves still hanging on there. And the flowers and the seeds and fruits up there. That is a big specimen as well. And then down here we have this nice ground cover. And this is the spider plant, isn't it?
Yep.
It's
been here over 10 years.
10 years in the ground, so I'm assuming it loses its leaves in winter and then just regrows in spring?
Yeah, we didn't expect it to come back, but yeah, it has big fleshy roots, which seems to not worry about the soil freezing.
So you can grow some houseplants all year round outside. Fantastic. And then we've got a nice Cerifera here. That's a good specimen. That's multi-trunked. We've got four trunks down there. And that's growing well.
Schefflera de Lavii.
Yeah, that's good. I've got some...
Wasps seem to be enjoying it.
All sorts of creatures over that, flies and all sorts. And we've got some berries forming. Some fruit here.
I think this is the tallest radicalis I've got here. So it's quite...
That's nice. Nice tropical looking leaves on that one. So that's it. Obviously, like you said, it's seen -7, -8 last winter. And
slightly protected with the Delavii, so I suppose that helps. All these seeds, the smaller ones, came from Charles Whichgull. Sadly passed away from the Algarve. Great guy. Met him 2012 in Rome. And the Palm Centre did an event over there, so got a load of seeds. Nice to have.
Nice to have, still growing on, which is wonderful. And then we've got a nice, if you just pan up, I've got the view of the Latisectus Martianus over there, and the Fortunii above it.
Begonia luxurians in flower.
Yeah, so we're right at the end of October, and we've still got Begonia luxurians out and flowering.
See the leaves down there better.
There we go. All the way from Brazil, but it's growing here and looking good. And there's one plant we've not looked at that I want to get a closer eye on, which is round here. I've got past the Musa Baju, which we started this walk around with. Well, there's lots more plants we could talk about, but round the corner we've got a palm tree, one of the most sought after sort of cold tolerant palm trees. Do you want to say what this one is?
Yes, it's Zwania australis.
Zwania australis.
Quite unusual.
It is.
It's feather palm.
So with this palm tree, eventually it will grow a clean trunk, won't it? So it'll grow...
Yeah, nice green shiny trunk. There's a few down Cornwall, but not so many up this far north.
No, not at all. And this is one that's meant to be a bit temperamental in terms of not wanting too much heat, but obviously this one's been in the ground a few years and gone through the really hot summer of 2022.
I've found as long as you can keep the roots damp, even though we had 40 degrees last year, it didn't affect it at all.
And in terms of protecting this over winter?
Yes, this will have wooden props up in the corners, and I'll probably fleece it with weed membrane, as I did last year.
Just to protect it, yeah.
I've also got a little tubular heater.
Okay.
That plugs in the shed.
Right. So you can run that to it.
Into there, so and just on RCD, so if we get any water in it, it'll be okay. So yeah, I don't want to lose that because I don't think I'd be allowed to buy another one. Well, considering probably a 2-foot plant, maybe £350.
Yeah, they like a lot of these plants, and especially a lot of palm trees. They're harder to get nowadays, and then obviously the prices are bumped up. But especially things like this, which not many stockists or suppliers get anyway at best of times, and normally much smaller plants. And this has grown relatively well. I mean, how big was this when?
Well, yeah, it's probably been in 3 years, but before I could cover it straight off this wooden joint here now.
So now it's much taller.
The spear is actually taller than that now. So.
Yeah, you can see that's right up there. It's a fantastic palm tree there. And then we'll just finish off round here. We've got Cycad, Echirops, Cycas revoluta, and then this is a singular trunked Echirops cerifera. Beautiful specimen there. And I'll just pan up and across, and you can finally see the full height of the Musa Baju reaching right high up into the sky.